Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Healthy AF. My name's Amy Chang, and I'm a health coach with Healthy Life, Health, and Wellness Coaching. I'm super delighted that you are here. Today's topic is all about modification. I have so many people in my life who come to me and say, I was at the gym and the trainer said that I should be moving this way or picking up this weight, and I couldn't do it right and I don't know what to do, or I hurt myself while I was trying to go as fast as everybody else, and they say to me, I don't know if I can go back to the gym and I don't know how to keep myself safe. And my answer for that is modifications. So it dawned on me that because I've been a trainer for almost a couple decades now, specifically in the CrossFit realm, but even before that in the aerobics and step aerobics and water aerobics. So holla to all my old Reebok high top wearing step aerobics friends. It's been a long time, and modification might not come as easily to you as it does to me. So I want to give you some, we'll call it some quick go-tos for how you can think like a trainer when you need to modify your exercise plan. First one is modifying your movement. So when we look at joints, say your elbow has a specific range of motion. Your elbow should open all the way up and close all the way up. All of your joints have that sort of healthy range of motion. It's bending to its full extent and extending without hyperextending into its full extent. When you find that you're having trouble with a specific movement and you can't quite get that full range of motion, you can decrease the range of motion. Now, some people ask me, well, is that cheating? No, it's not cheating. If you can do a certain range of motion without losing your form or compensating into other body parts, tweaking something, twisting something, becoming imbalanced, then that's exactly where you need to stop. Hit that safe spot where you're not in pain and go to that spot consistently. Now, you might say, well, am I just never going to be able to have full range of motion? No, that's not true. You want to consistently hit the spot that feels safe and then readjust as you get better at that movement. You want to be patient with your body. So a lot of people have trouble with squats. They either fall over into their toe forward when they're squatting, or they kind of tip backwards in their heel and want to kind of roll backwards. So if you were going to modify your squat, you want to find a spot that you can squat down and still feel balanced on your feet, not having your chest fall over too forward or having to be in your heels too much, and find that spot. You want to get yourself a target so that you can go to that spot every single time, and you know the height of that target. It might be a bench outside during your workout. It might be a box if y'all have like box steps. It might be the seat of a chair. It might be the lip of a table. Whatever works for you, get yourself a target and get your fanny bottom to that target every single time. We're not sitting on the target. We're not slumping when we get to the target. We're just gracefully letting our sweet cheeks graze the target and come back up. Over time, the goal is to take a little bit away from the target. That's how you modify using a altered range of motion. Okay, so that's one modification you can make, is just make the movement smaller. The next modification you can go to is make the load less. If you can squat, great if you have no weight, but the minute somebody gives you a, 50-pound kettlebell, your form is horrible, well, go down to a 10-pound kettlebell. See what happens. Climb up to a 15, then to a 20. You can always modify your load. And this is really important. I find that when we get into the gym space particularly, our egos come along with us. And when that happens, so do injuries. So you really want to be open to, my trainer is asking me to do 50 pounds, or it says on the board to do 50 pounds. And also, every time I pick up 50 pounds, it feels bad and my form goes to poop. Then put down the 50 pounds. You want to start somewhere where your movement pattern can be intact and you can have that load. So you can always drop the weight. The other is you can change the rep scheme. So if what's written is, run 5K, well, maybe you need to run 2K that day. It's still running and it's all right. If the rep scheme is like do 10 burpees in 45 seconds and you can only do 6 burpees in 45 seconds, do 6 burpees. It's not a big deal. Write it down in your little workout book. Shoot for 7 next time. Modify the amount of reps you're doing. The other one that I think people don't really recognize, so far we've done movement, load, and reps. The other one that I think people don't recognize, I had a very good question the other day. They said, I want to build strength in my legs, particularly my quads, and the front of my thighs, and I don't squat well. How can I exercise those muscles even if I'm not doing full range of motion squats? And my suggestion to them was add tempo to your squats. So a lot of times we don't think about the pace at which we move through movements and how our pacing or our tempo can determine the muscular load that we have going on. If you question this, try to go down into a full squat over like a minute and see how that feels on your legs. You're going to feel a lot more burn going down in that slow holding squat than you would in just squatting down and back in a second. So if you find that your form and reducing your movement and maybe even reducing your reps is not giving you the kind of muscular load you'd like to have, then try adding in a little tempo. And you can do tempo in a lot of different ways. You can go through the motion slowly, like slowly extend and slowly contract. You can go through the motion like slowly extend and contract quickly. You can go through the motion slowly extend, hold it out, contract quickly, and squeeze for a count. So you can really do a lot. There's a lot of modifications that you can do with tempo. I like to use tempo when people have the mobility to get into a finished position, but they lose it when they go fast or get under load. And that's when I really like to slow them down and really crank, like, okay, let's look exactly when do you lose that perfect posture? When do you lose that core strength? When do we get wiggle waggly? I like to use tempo for that. So there you go, 4 different modifications already in your back pocket. You can limit your movement, you can limit your load, you can add in tempo, and oh gosh, I forgot the other one. Limit your reps. If you happen to not be able to do any of those modifications, or that's not the modification you need to do, sometimes I look at just changing completely the movement. So let's say you've got a shoulder, and the movement you'd like to do, I should say shoulder injury. Let's say, I hope you have a shoulder. Some people don't, but if you have a shoulder that's not functioning the way you want it to function, or a little bit limited, and you want to completely avoid it, you can just change that movement. Be brave. If the classroom or the video series you're following, the thing is to do shoulders, well, maybe you just pick a different body part for that day. So it's okay to go into your workout space and go like, okay, today's shoulders, but that's not happening, so I'm going to do lunges. I'm going to work on core strength. I'm going to work that opposite shoulder, and then maybe you're working your grip strength over here. So I want you to feel free to completely change the movement. Now, sometimes people say like, well, I don't want to go to class if everybody else is doing shoulders and I can't do shoulders. I get that. Part of going into a class setting, if you are a group exerciser and you love group exercise, you're going to keep that sustainability in that habit if you go to group exercise. So if you take yourself out because they're doing shoulder work and you can't do shoulder work, you're actually degrading that habit for yourself. Go and just modify. Maybe they're doing 10 shoulder presses and you just go ahead and modify that to 10 sit-ups. You can stay inside the realm of working together and inside the structure and the timing of what they're doing and just do different movements. That's okay. The other thing I like to change is a different stimulus. Typically, when you're following a workout, it has a specific stimulus. Are you, running a 5K at pace? Are you running 10 sprints with rests in between? Totally different stimulus for your body. Are you carrying a super, super, super heavy weight for just like 5 steps? Or are you throwing up a light weight for, 24 reps in a minute? So if you need to change the stimulus, that too is okay. Sometimes that's a modification that you can make. So if moving that amount of weight slowly or quickly, is not what's going to work out for me that day, then I can reduce my load, I can reduce my reps, or I can reduce my stimulus and just say, I want to stay at this weight, but I can't move it as fast. So I'm going to stay at this weight, but just go slower. And I'm changing my rep scheme and my stimulus. And that's okay. All of these things are right there in your toolkit to make sure that you're exercising safely, and you stay inside your habit of I'm hitting my classes, or I'm hitting my daily exercise, or whatever it is. The last little thing I wanted to share is something that came out of really my very first coaching client when I became a health coach. She had a couple of injuries and wasn't able to exercise, which was really harsh in her vibe. She was an avid exerciser, very physically fit, and used it for stress relief. And she was really feeling that she couldn't do as much as she typically could have done. And we had several sessions to chat about the frustrating nature of not being able to do what you used to do or what you would like to do when you're kind of on the comeback trail. And like, if you're 50 some like I am, you've been on the comeback trail, man. You've been on it multiple times. It might have been after that first pregnancy, second pregnancy, third pregnancy. It might have been after that move. It might have been after you've gotten through that certain season of your life, that job change, that marital change, where you've like not been in the gym for a minute. I've had so many comebacks in my lifetime of being active, I couldn't even begin to count. And every time I pushed myself to 100%, but my 100% looked different. So when I was working with my client, I really had to break it down for her. She kept telling me she was like operating at 50%, and I could see that she was really, really pushing to capacity. And so finally I was like, man, if I like cut your legs off and you couldn't run a 5K anymore, but you were like in the wheelchair wheeling it, would you be mad because you're at 50%? And she was like, I don't know. So it took her about 24 hours, and then I got a text from her while she was washing her truck. I get it now. I get it. That's my 100%. I'm like, yes. Your 100% changes all the time. It changes every day. And so what do you do when you go to that workout that you know you're going to need to modify? You check in with you. Where's my 100% today? You might have had the flu. You might be under stress. You might be getting ready to start a period. You might be heavier than usual. You might be lighter than usual. You might be dehydrated. Check in with you. Where's my 100% today? And then modify to accommodate that level of energy that you're bringing. You may find that your 100% that day is like 125%, and it's like, yeah, let's go. I had a day like that last week, and I was able to modify up. Let's add on some more weight because I feel great today. So that's available for you too. If you get nothing from this podcast today, please put in your pocket that you're in charge of your body and you can modify to stay safe, to stay active, and to continue going toward your goals. Give yourself some grace, and I'll see y'all next time on Healthy AF.